We're at Machu Picchu, and today we're going to tell you everything you need to know to get here and how to maximize your time here. Machu Picchu is the lost city of the Incan Empire, and it's no surprise how it gained its title as a wonder of the world. But it can be challenging to piece together all of the info that's needed to reach this magical place and have a successful Machu Picchu trip. So in this travel guide, we're going to walk you through everything you need to know about planning a trip to Machu Picchu.
Okay, in order to get to Machu Picchu, you'll first need to catch a flight to Cusco, Peru. The Cusco airport is small, and you'll probably have a layover in Lima to get here. There are plenty of flights from Lima to Cusco, and the flight time is about an hour and a half each way. We actually loved the city of Cusco, and there is so much to do while here. We have a video that's a complete guide of the top things you need to see while in Cusco, as well as a video covering the top Peruvian foods and restaurants you need to try in Cusco as well. So be sure to check those out.
Right, the poison for Cusco, the poison chosen specially to kill Cusco, Cusco's poison.
When you land in Cusco, there are taxis available at the airport, or you can take an Uber. Ubers are plentiful and affordable in Cusco, and that's always a great option so you know your price before you get in the cab. Given Cusco's elevation is a little over 11,000 feet, or over double the elevation of Denver, you want to give your body a day or two to become acclimated to the elevation before heading to Machu Picchu. To avoid altitude sickness, you should drink lots of water, or do as the locals do and purchase cocoa leaves to chew on to alleviate the symptoms.
Now that you're in Cusco, in order to reach Machu Picchu, you're going to have to take a train from Cusco to the town of Aguas Calientes, or as it's been renamed, the town of Machu Picchu. You'll have a few different options to get here. For starters, there are two different train companies to take you there, Peru Rail and Inca Rail. Both of these companies offer near identical rides and operate on the exact same train tracks, so just do your homework to see which one is most affordable for your travel dates. You're going to want to buy these train tickets in advance, as we've heard that they can sell out even quicker than Machu Picchu tickets. Both train companies have different tiers of train cars, ranging from extremely high-end to more budget travel. We opted for Peru Rail's cheapest car, and the amenities were plenty nice. We paid $130 each for a round-trip tickets from Cusco to Machu Picchu on Peru Rail, but these prices vary from year to year and also with the seasons. You'll also need to choose your departure location. You can either depart from the San Pedro station, located right by the San Pedro Market in the historic center of Cusco, Peru, or you can depart from the Peroy station, which is a 30-minute taxi ride from Cusco. We opted to depart from the San Pedro station as it was right near the hostel we stayed at, which we'll link below. Plus, it makes sure you get to see way more Peruvian puppies along the way.
The other thing that's been so enjoyable about this train ride so far is all the dogs you see along the way. I swear every dog in Cusco has come out to take a look or bark at the train. So I think we've probably seen close to 100 dogs just in probably the 30 minutes we've been on the train so far.
Another option is to catch a bus ride to the Ollantaytambo station, and from there catch a train ride to Machu Picchu. From Cusco, you can take one of these buses, called a colectivo, from Cusco directly to Ollantaytambo. And there are a couple of different spots to catch these colectivos around Cusco. Opting to take a colectivo may save you a little bit of time and money, but we decided to take the train directly from Cusco to Aguas Calientes to simplify our journey. The train ride to Aguas Calientes is extremely enjoyable, with stunning views and overhead speakers playing authentic Peruvian music and announcing historical and environmental landmarks and facts along the way. When you arrive in Aguas Calientes, you might be dropped off in the train station or right in the heart of downtown on the train tracks. It's important to note that you're going to have to catch your train back at the train station, even if you're dropped off in the downtown area. So be sure to pay attention to the later section of this video, where we talk about returning to Cusco after Machu Picchu, so you don't miss your train ride home.
Of course, you can also hike to Machu Picchu on the Inca Trail, which is a 4-day, 3-night hike from right outside of Ollantaytambo. But this definitely takes a bit more prep work. We'll have some resources listed below if this is something that interests you. But if you're like most travelers and take the train all the way to Aguas Calientes, this is the town where you'll stay before visiting Machu Picchu. There's actually tons to do in this cute little river town. It's got a great adventure vibe. And whether you're looking to rejuvenate from hiking in the world's most scenic hot springs or get your passport stamp to prove you made it to Machu Picchu, we'll have a video coming out shortly walking through the top things you need to do in Aguas Calientes. We'll cover all the details and insider tricks to Aguas Calientes there, so be sure to check that out to maximize your time in Aguas Calientes. We'd recommend staying at least one night in this town instead of trying to do the round-trip train ride in one day. We really enjoyed our time in this magical little town. We opted to stay the night here, head to Machu Picchu the next morning and then catch a train ride back to Cusco in the afternoon. And this worked out really well for us. We were also expecting this town to be very expensive and touristy, but we found it to be pretty reasonable. Again, keep an eye out for our Aguas Calientes video if you're interested in where we stayed and what we ate.
Now that you've made it to Aguas Calientes, it's time to talk about buying your Machu Picchu tickets. Machu Picchu does not sell any tickets at the entrance, so you need to buy them online before you go. This process is pretty simple. You'll need to go to the official site, which we'll link below, and select a time slot. There are options here to add on private tours and additional hikes, but we didn't feel the need to add that to our ticket. There are a couple of different tickets that you can buy whenever you come into the Machu Picchu. We opted for just the general admission ticket, and it looks like that's going to grant us access to all of the grounds that we're really interested in. There are also a couple tickets where you can add on hikes. One of them is the Hawaii Pichu hike. I think I said that correctly. And you can see that behind me. It's the little mound next to the larger hill, and we can actually see people hiking that right now. We paid about $97 each for our entry tickets, and this included a round-trip bus ticket to get to the entrance of Machu Picchu, which we'll talk about later in this video. To buy these tickets, you'll have to go to the website and select a time slot. And note that they're pretty strict about not allowing you in before your time. We arrived at the ticket checker 3 minutes before a time slot, and he made us wait until exactly 9 a.m. to enter. They're pretty strict about not letting you in after your time slot as well. If you buy your tickets for 6 a.m., you're allowed to enter Machu Picchu between 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. We've heard that if you're a bit late, they will usually still let you in, but if you're significantly late, you'll have to go back down to Aguas Calientes and buy a new ticket for a later time slot. We opted for a time slot at 9 a.m., and this worked really well for us. We were told by a couple of locals that the prettiest time to see Machu Picchu was at 10 a.m. due to how the sun is striking the mountains during this time, so you might want to keep this in mind. Try to book these Machu Picchu entrance tickets hand in hand with your train journey, because both of these sell out months in advance.
Another thing you need to consider when planning your Machu Picchu trip is the weather. Machu Picchu is open year-round, but you may want to plan your travels around the wet season, which occurs between late November and early April. Since tourism isn't as high during the wet season, it may be a great opportunity to score some deals, have Machu Picchu nearly to yourself, and get some cool, moody, cloudy pictures. But there is a chance that the cloud coverage during this time is so significant that it covers the mountains entirely, so that's something to take into consideration as well. The dry season for Machu Picchu goes from May until October. We visited in May 2022 and had beautiful weather with minimal crowds. We're so thankful we got the blue skies that we did. Right now we can see the clouds are starting to come in. Still definitely nice here, but it's definitely nicer when there's a little bit of sun peeking through.
Yeah, and we actually wanted to see it a little bit cloudy just because it gives it really cool, mysterious feel with the clouds rolling in. But we're glad we had the sunshine in the morning.
It was expected to be rainy the entire day of our visit according to our Google searches the night before, but we were surprisingly met with a gorgeous sunny day. We were told by locals that it's typically sunny in the morning and that rain tends to come in the afternoon, which is exactly what we experienced with our visit, so that may be something to consider when booking your time slot for Machu Picchu. Okay, when it comes to your Machu Picchu day, you have two main options to get to the entry of Machu Picchu. The first is to hike up the mountain on the Camino Pitonal hiking trail. This is a path with a whole lot of stairs, and it's quite strenuous given the 1,279 feet of elevation gain, and this takes about 2 to 3 hours to hike. If you have an early morning ticket, chances are you'll be starting this hike very early before the sun rises, so keep that in mind. The more popular option to reach the top is to take a bus, and this is what we did. This bus ride offers you a direct drive right to the entrance of Machu Picchu. You can buy bus tickets in Aguas Calientes, but we recommend buying them online in advance. You can do this on the same site where you bought your Machu Picchu tickets, which really simplifies the process. We recommend printing out paper copies of these tickets and bringing them the day of in addition to your digital copies. We saw some people using digital tickets on their phone with no problem, but we have heard of some visitors having a hard time without a paper ticket, so it's best to play it safe. When it comes time to board your bus, be sure to get to the bus stop on the earlier side. Good morning, guys.
We are in Aguas Calientes right now in line for Machu Picchu.
The line looks a little long, but there seems to be a lot of buses stacked up, so it seems to be moving pretty quick. We got here around 7:15 for our 8 o'clock time slot.
The line for us seems long, but it moved pretty quickly and we were boarded within 20 minutes. The buses run from 5:30 a.m. to 6 p.m., so keep this in mind when you're booking your time slot into Machu Picchu. It was about a 20-minute bus ride or so, not bad at all, and gorgeous views the whole way up. So we're just waiting in line right now to get our tickets checked and our passports checked.
Yeah, and one thing to note with the bus line was there were constantly people over at the front of the line throwing up their like 2 or 4 fingers, and they were looking for pairs or quadruples that had extra seats in the buses, so we were actually able to sneak up a little further in line because there was just 2 of us traveling.
Yeah, it looks like most people here are in larger groups going in. Down here you can see the switchbacks that we actually took the bus up on, It was very windy, but it was a really pleasant ride.
When you arrive at the top and hop off the bus, there'll actually be another line you need to stand in to enter Machu Picchu. However, before you jump right into the line, consider if you need to use the bathroom before entering. There are no bathrooms inside the ruins of Machu Picchu, so if you think that you'll need to go, there are bathrooms by the snack bar outside. It costs 2 soles to use the bathroom, but that peace of mind can be totally worth it. Another thing you'll want to consider before entering Machu Picchu is that you'll definitely need to eat a big meal beforehand. We stayed at a hostel with free breakfast, and we honestly tried to eat as much as possible before we left for the day. Also, be sure to wear your sunscreen. The elevation is no joke.
Now let's talk about some rules for entering Machu Picchu. There are certain things you're not allowed to bring into Machu Picchu, like umbrellas, selfie sticks, strollers, tripods, drones, and food. While we can't recommend breaking any rules, we saw plenty of people with water bottles and sneaking granola bars, so use that as a guideline on how strictly the food and drink rules are enforced. Another thing you absolutely need to enter Machu Picchu is your passport. This one's pretty simple, you just won't be allowed in without it, and you should have this on you at all times anyway. You may have heard that you can actually get your passport stamped with the Machu Picchu stamp. Something we didn't realize until the day of is that they don't actually stamp your passport at Machu Picchu. The place where this gets stamped is actually down in Aguas Calientes. This spot was kind of hard to find, but we're going to outline exactly how to get there in our Aguas Calientes video. Another thing you might want to note is that technically you need to hire a tour guide inside of Machu Picchu to escort you around during your stay, but this rule is not enforced. Personally, we did not hire a tour guide, and we enjoyed being able to take things at our own pace, but we did see plenty of people with a tour guide, and they seemed informative and helpful. Something that you're going to want to bring in with you to Machu Picchu is bug spray. I brought some bug spray in with me, but I may have applied it just a little bit too late because I still got some pretty significant sandfly bites that took pretty long to heal. We've heard the mosquitoes are pretty bad on some of the hikes too, so take this precaution if you get bit up like crazy like me. Wear your bug spray, kids. These bites are gnarly.
Once you actually are inside Machu Picchu, this is where you have some serious decisions to make. The walking tracks of Machu Picchu are one way, meaning that you can't walk backwards. And given that there are many different trails that lead you to different parts of the ruins, you're going to want to do some research on which route makes the most sense to you, as you can't walk backwards to see sites on other paths that you missed. It's almost like a choose your own adventure game in a way, where once you choose a path, you're on it until another fork presents itself. So definitely do your research before you go to decide which path works best for you and that you see all the sites you want to see. And one more thing about not being able to walk backwards, some of the most picturesque places to take in the mountains and the city from above are early in your journey, and as you descend into the ruins, you won't get those fantastic viewpoints and backdrops, so be sure to take your time while you're above the city because you can't go back there later on. Also, be mindful as you go because the nearest llamas may be above you. And truth be told, we actually broke this don't walk backwards rule once when we were told that we missed some llamas that were just behind us. While we certainly don't recommend breaking any rules, we don't regret it.
Technically, your Machu Picchu ticket is valid for 4 hours from the beginning of your time slot, but I will say that we don't really know how they enforce this rule, as we didn't see anybody checking tickets after you were inside Machu Picchu. We ended up staying from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., and we thought 4 hours was the perfect amount of time. And believe me, we took our darn time walking through those ruins. When it comes time to leave Machu Picchu, you can either hike down that same trail we talked about or take the bus. There'll be a queue formed for the bus at the top, so just wait in line for your spot. We visited in May and waited about 10 minutes to board a bus back down. Again, it's best to have your tickets in advance, but there is a ticket office at the top for you to buy a bus ticket. Once you're back in Aguas Calientes, you'll probably want to grab some food and head to the train station to catch your train out. We love the lasagna from this restaurant and the vegetarian pizza from this one, with the pizza place being pretty close to the train station. We highly recommend filling your bellies beforehand, as the train ride back is slightly longer than the train ride in, as the train needs to chug uphill. And speaking of the train station, you can find it just on the other side of the artisanal market in Aguas Calientes. This market is actually pretty massive, so if you're tight on time, you'll need to navigate the sprawl of shops rather quickly. But if you do have time to burn, it's a great spot to shop for some souvenirs or pick up some last-minute snacks. We recommend scoping out the location of the departing train station before you're in a time crunch, so be sure to plan ahead.
Let us know in the comments below if you're planning on visiting Machu Picchu or if you have any other questions that we can help answer. Seriously, guys, we love hearing from you, and those comments mean a lot to us. Also, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel to see more of our adventures ahead. And we have a very exciting vlog coming up from our day in Machu Picchu that has some incredibly exciting news for us, so stay tuned for that as well. Thanks everyone, we'll see you in the next one. Adios. Right from outside of Alitalitambo. 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 Aliti.
Olante Tambo.
Oyante Tambo.
Oyante Tambo. Oyante Tambo.
From right outside of Oyante Tambo.